Hello again. We are going to start Unit 4 today. This is Lesson 4.1 on simple quantitative discrete data. We are going to talk about organizing the data first, and what we'll be using is a frequency table, using tallies to record how frequently each data value appears in the set of data. And the frequency for each value is just how many times it appears in the data set, and then the relative frequency is how often it appears out of the total number of values that are in the data set. So if I look at this table right here, I'm counting the number of siblings that people have, and as you can see, there are 3 people that have no siblings, 4 people that have 1 sibling, 6 people that have 2 siblings, and 2 people that have 3 siblings. So there was a sample of a total of 15 people that were asked. So the relative frequency would be each of those numbers, the 3, the 4, 6, and the 2, all out of 15. And that would get me my relative frequencies. Okay, now if I want to display that data, I'm going to use a column graph with different heights of columns to represent the different values. So the range of the values is going to go on the horizontal axis. So that was the number of siblings that people could have. And then the frequency of those values is going to be on the vertical axis. So that's what it's going to look like. And just like before, the 0 along the bottom represents 0 siblings, and there are 3 people with 0 siblings. There are 4 people with 1 sibling, 6 people with 2 siblings, and 2 people with 3 siblings. So the column graph represents the same thing as our frequency table. Now we need to be able to describe that data. The mode is going to be the value that appears the most often in my data set. And you can judge that by the highest column, which in this case is going to be the 2. So, and if the graph looks the same on either side of the mode, then we call that symmetrical distribution. And that means that in our case, it was evenly distributed how many people had more than 2 siblings and how many people had fewer than 2 siblings. Well, that's not really what's going on with our data, so let's talk about what happens in our case. Well, if there are more data to the left of the mode, which is what we have, then the distribution is negatively skewed. However, if the opposite were happening and there were more data to the right of the mode, then our distribution would be positively skewed. And as you can see, ours is negatively skewed. Let's talk about outliers. If there is a value that's much larger or much smaller than the rest of the data, then that value is considered an outlier. And for example, if we had one person who had, say, 7 siblings, that would be way outside of the other people that I asked. So that would be considered an outlier. So there's a brief introduction on this lesson of this unit. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.